Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer, and this is a Fox News alert. New Fox polls are out tonight, and they are clear that there isn't a true front-runner in the race for the Republican nomination, at least not yet. This as voters show increasing distrust of Hillary Clinton. We have Fox team coverage. Senior political correspondent Mike Emanuel with the latest Fox polls and how the GOP candidates are trying to set themselves apart. But first, Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry on how the controversies over Hillary Clinton's private email and questionable donations to the Clinton Foundation are having an effect on voters. Good evening, Ed.
Good evening, Brett. Clinton aides continue to insist these controversies are just a Republican fascination. Our new poll suggests otherwise.
While Hillary Clinton joked about her email server behind closed doors, a Democrat went public today with his view the server should be turned over to a judge. Congressman Mike Capuano saying he does not believe Republicans on the Hill will be fair, so an independent umpire needs to investigate whether only personal email was deleted.
Have some neutral observer, not the U.S. Congress that's clearly going after a political witch hunt here.
Right.
But to have, appoint, I don't know, some individual judge that everybody trusts or something to go through them and make a determination as to what is and what is not appropriately subject to public scrutiny.
That comes as a new Fox poll also found trouble for Bill and Hillary Clinton over their foundation. 61% of voters believe it is very or somewhat likely they sold influence to donors. 33% say it's not likely. Among Democratic primary voters, the poll found 31% are very or somewhat concerned about allegations of Hillary Clinton's dishonesty and unethical behavior. 68% are not very or not at all concerned. That runs counter to Clinton aides claiming the controversies only resonate with Republicans and will have no impact with swing voters in a general election.
Independent voters are probably the one group of voters in the country that care more about character and trustworthiness.
Today, the Washington Times reported the former president collected $26 million for the foundation from a fundraising arm in Sweden, while that country lobbied the Secretary of State on sanctions that threatened its business with Iran. As the candidate prepares to deliver a speech in Houston Thursday on voting rights at Texas Southern University, university officials sent the media an admonition that there will be, quote, no opportunities to interview Hillary Clinton. Her speech will be her interview. The New York Post reported at a closed-door fundraiser on Monday, Clinton joked the White House would not have been hacked if they used her server. No laughing matter for Republican Trey Gowdy, who pressed a State Department official on why there's not a complete record of her email.
You're processing what was originally on the server, or are you processing what she provided to you?
We are processing what she provided to us.
And Democrats fired back at the hearing that Republican secretaries of state used personal email, and there are major gaps in Colin Powell and Condi Rice's official email. Brett?
All right, more on this with the panel. Ed, thank you. Another Democrat has entered the race for the White House, actually entering it right now. You're looking live. Former Rhode Island Governor Lincoln Chafee announcing right now in Northern Virginia his candidacy at George Mason University in Northern Virginia. Chafee, who was once a Republican, then an independent, and is now seeking the Democratic nomination for president, is the only Republican back in 2003 to have voted against the Iraq War and is putting foreign policy at the center of his campaign and already challenging Hillary Clinton.
We will be electing a new president in 2016. I enjoy challenges, and certainly we have many facing America. Today, I'm formally entering the race for the Democratic nomination for president.
And he's now taking Q&A from students. Chafee is now the fourth candidate to enter the race for the Democratic nomination. On the Republican side, there are already 9 candidates asking for your vote in 2016. But the new Fox poll shows only 1 out of the top 3 has announced a run for the White House officially. Senior political correspondent Mike Emanuel tonight with a look at the latest numbers and what the contenders are trying to do to put themselves out front.
There is no true frontrunner in the race for the Republican nomination, according to a new Fox News poll. Former Governor Jeb Bush and Governor Scott Walker are neck and neck at 12% support, with retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson at 11%. The next group is also very tight, with Senators Rand Paul at 9%, Ted Cruz at 8%, and Marco Rubio at 7% support. Today, Walker took this swipe at the senators in the race: Paul, Cruz, Rubio, and Lindsey Graham.
People who are good fighters, many in the United States Senate who've been fighting the good fight, raising the banner, taking on Obama, but have yet to win any real victories there.
Then Walker pitched what he believes makes him stand out from other governors like Bush, Christie, and Perry, who are expected to run.
We've fought the good fight on issue after issue, and we've won those fights, not just on the ballot box, but when it matters on policy.
The Fox poll also reveals former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee at 6% and New Jersey Governor Chris Christie at 5%, with former Texas Governor Rick Perry and businessman Donald Trump at 4% each. Then it's Carly Fiorina, Lindsey Graham, John Kasich, George Pataki, and Rick Santorum at 2% each.
Thank you so much. What a neat family.
In New Hampshire, Graham described what he considers his unique strength: an aggressive, forward-leaning foreign policy, contrasting what he would do versus what President Obama has done in Iraq.
I'm going to destroy the caliphate. We're going to pull it up by its roots. The biggest mistake we made in Iraq was not going in, and we made plenty going in, was leaving too soon. He said, I was elected to end wars, you're coming out. If you elect me, I'm going to be elected to win wars.
In South Carolina, Christie promised folks at a town hall in Greenville that he intends to invest time and energy there.
I was just saying hi to folks, and it's a process of letting folks get to know you.
The Fox poll shows national security is rising as a deciding issue for Republican primary voters, now at 36%. 46% say economic issues will be most important, but that's down 30 points from 4 years ago. Finally, Jeb Bush has a unique distinction, being in the top 5 of the definitely and never vote for lists. Brett?
It's early. Mike, thanks. The president is making the hard sell now for the trade bill in the House. But right now, it looks like he has a long way to go. This, as a website, offers a reward to anyone with the scoop of what's really in the strangely secretive trade legislation. Correspondent Kevin Corke tonight with the president's trade troubles.
From Democrats on Capitol Hill to big labor, even online, the president's effort to get the House to sign off on fast-track authority on trade has met with strong resistance from usually reliable Democratic allies.
It's a fraud. It's a fake. That's what the TPA is.
They are getting increasingly desperate because they know they lack the votes to get their bill through the House.
It could prove to be the president's toughest political battle yet. The White House needs 217 votes to move forward on TPA, but at last count remain 30 to 40 votes shy.
The president has made very clear, both in public and in private, a willingness to stand with Democrats who stand with him on the trade argument.
A stand made even tougher thanks to pressure from the 12.5 million member AFL-CIO, which, using the hashtag #StopFastTrack, asked its members to call Congress today. Fast Track would make it easier for the White House to conclude negotiations on the sweeping Trans-Pacific Partnership deal by preventing Congress from amending it. Sensing the political blowback, the White House is trying a three-tiered response. One, have the president take his case directly to lawmakers with one-on-one meetings and phone calls, even enlisting the help of Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi to help tamp down the noise among dissenters. Two, take the case beyond the Beltway and directly to voters with interviews with local TV news stations. And three, lean on GOP support for an overall trade deal.
TPA stands for jobs, good-paying, high-quality American jobs.
In a debate that seems to have no shortage of opinions, Democratic presidential frontrunner Hillary Clinton has remained silent, resisting calls to speak out against or throw her support behind the president. Meanwhile, others say they're breaking the seal on what's in the proposed agreement. WikiLeaks, the secret-spilling website, has disclosed online what it says are 3 of the trade deal's 29 chapters, and they're now crowdsourcing cash for anyone who forwards them the rest.
Help uncover $1 trillion secret that will affect the whole world. Make your pledge today.
And a very quick nugget on trade. The president was asked today if China would be interested in being part of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. He told NPR in an interview that they've already started putting out feelers about possibly taking part at some point. Brett?
Kevin Corke live on the North Lawn. Kevin, thank you. Up next, ISIS waging war using U.S. weapons. First, here's what some of our Fox affiliates around the country are covering tonight. Fox 7 in Austin with disturbing video, as you see here, of a car exploding as police try to pull the driver from the car. Police say the man may have tried to commit suicide through a cigarette lighter as officers tried to get him out of the car. Incredibly, the officers' injuries were minor and they went back for that driver. Fox 13 in Seattle with a high-stakes marijuana heist. The suspects broke into 3 adjacent pot shops this week, costing the owners about $100,000. And this is a live look at Atlanta tonight from Fox 5, our affiliate out there. The big story there tonight, no bull. A 1,500-pound bull is back on the range after it was rescued from a 20-foot well. The heavyweight operation took all day. Crews could not lift him, so they had to dig a trench so he could walk out. The bull, named Boy, was not too bothered by the whole thing. He opted for a nap before exiting the hole a short time ago. That's tonight's live look outside the Beltway from Special Report. We'll be right back.